Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Cheesy E.
Thank you, Cornsey, and welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he made a video about that, you drink. If My Sock Summer mentions his time on the West Coast or blames his kids for something, you drink. If I fuck up the intro or make MSS appear to be dumb, you drink. And if Jeff Passan asks us to mute MSS, you drink. Of course, you can make all of us drink for just $1.08 or more. If you'd like.
Please, Mom.
Speaking of drinking, fellas, let me find this, and then I'll ask you, what are you drinking?
It's been a minute.
You guys added a lot of pictures tonight, sons of bitches.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to outdo each other after we were fighting on Twitter. We're trying to add a lot of images.
Oh, fighting. You were just clobbering me like the big bitch you are.
I did clobber you. I used my nose.
I haven't tried to scroll that much since the slow-loading porn days, you know?
Man.
Tracy, thanks for
Beef,
asking.
what are you drinking?
Today I decided that I'm gonna have like a skinny margarita because everything else about me is not skinny. So I'm having having little Cazadores, some fresh squeezed lime, and some club soda, and it's going down delicious. I'm looking forward to it. A nice tequila infused show.
Nice.
That sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. And, yeah, you're not skinny. My Sock Summer, what are you drinking?
I also am not drinking a skinny margarita. I am drinking a Knob Creek pancakes, banana pancakes. I think it's a 120 single barrel release. And then after I get done, this is my taste. After I get done with my taste, I'm going to go into, I think I'm going to try to finish that bottle of Buffalo Trace tonight. We'll see. The big... Yeah.
From the start to finish?
Is that the one as big as your head?
It's the one as big as my head. That is a lot. I'm probably not going to finish it, but we're going to give it a good try.
Man, I'm proud of you already.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Looking forward to this.
What are you drinking, and is it the size of your head?
No, it's beer. I'm drinking whatever beer is left in my fridge, so it'll be random ones throughout the night. We'll see how it goes.
Is it a Montucky cold snack?
It is not.
You were drinking last night?
Not. I had a couple of those last night. I also had a zombie dust last night. All delicious.
Oh, how was that? Was it good? Was it fresh?
Yeah, it was good.
Fresh?
I was way up on the north side, guys. I was like by the music box. That's how far
What are
north
you doing?
I was.
We're being a North Sider, huh?
I was being a north sider.
Hold on, before
in
you
like
continue,
a Kansas City bar too, which was weird. I was prepping for passing.
Damn it! Before you continue, Treasy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. So I was realizing the other day because like I've been in the For You column of Twitter for months now. Like it's where it's at. It's the Wild West, and this one thing keeps coming up. And I realized I must have followed this while I was drunk, but I love it. It's called Sopranfeld, and it's an account that just mashes up. It just mashes up The Sopranos and Seinfeld, and like every time it pops up, I like think to myself, "Oh man, I gotta follow these guys. I don't want to miss this. I gotta follow it." And like today, I went to follow them, and I'm like, I already followed this account. I don't remember following it.
You thought it was just a special feature in your For You tab, and you're like, oh, I better get in on this for good. Like,
I thought they were really, really getting the algorithm down, and then I just realized, no, I've been following this probably for a while.
That's absolutely
Those are
lovely.
fun.
You guys got any like that, like, or just even like a ridiculous account that you follow that you're like, this has nothing to do with anything, but I
like there's that Internet Hall of Fame account. I don't follow it, but I like wholesome memes. Like there's a lot of those like huge accounts. I mean, Super 70 Sports I've always liked. I follow that account. That guy gets in trouble every once in a while, but
I don't like him so much.
He tweets on as much as I do. That's why I like
much.
Him.
But he doesn't tweet out links to like you don't tweet out links to our merch. every other tweet. Like every other tweet for him is like, buy this shirt that I ripped off of something from the 70s or 80s or 90s, you know? And
his merch is fantastic, though. I bought my dad like 50 Christmas presents from that guy.
I do like the cat content. You're right. I always I like to retweet all the cat content. Mrs. Beef says she loves the Satan account. Yeah, the Satan account is a really good account. I agree with that. But I'm with you, Treasy. The For You tab better than the Follow tab. Because give me some surprises, man.
That is where it's at.
Either that or I got to recultivate my Follow tab to the point where it rivals the For You tab. Because I feel like I get so much more interesting shit flowing through the For You tab. Maybe my followers got to be better. I don't know.
Maybe you got
real
shitty
quick,
followers
guys.
or something they're following.
Got a couple drinks to get to. Two tree drinks. So from Aloha, Mr. Handy says, Happy New Year, fellas. Happy New Year, Pete.
Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Merry New Year.
Mr. Hand.
And our guy Jerry O'Sullivan, he says, looking forward to seeing you all Saturday night. Cheers, boys.
Hell yeah.
Cheers. Yeah, I
Jerry.
can't wait for Saturday.
Bless you, my friend.
Jerry, is that your high school graduation photo that you're using on your YouTube account?
He looks hella dapper in that, doesn't he?
He does, but he looks so young. He does not look that young.
That's how the internet works, though, my friend.
No beard.
That's how the internet works. I looked at my picture from Facebook, and it's still from when I was in Gunner's Daughter. It's pretty great.
Yes. Never change it. Just leave it the same. Never change it.
I would never will. I was surprised I could even get into the account.
Is it the one where you're like playing the bass like all aggressive?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a good
baby.
one.
That's a
picture.
picture.
It's a good picture.
It's a good picture. It's a good picture,
is.
but it's 10 years ago.
It's okay.
Easily.
You should use it on your LinkedIn.
Easy
Might be rounding
decade
down
ago.
on that 10 years. Not saying, just saying, you know.
My Suck Summer, how you doing tonight?
You know what? I'm doing great, and we have a great show lined up, and I know Loaf has a lot of things that he wants to discuss in his banter, so I'm going to hurry up my banter. I didn't have anything that was like sticking out. Like, you know, I was talking about the Great Wolf Lodge. I was doing some things, but I had stopped by Aldi, and this is just a shopper alert to anyone that likes anything that is Christmas orientated or any of that shit. Go over there right now. I bought 6 things of creamer for my coffee for 34 cents a piece, and it's the peppermint mocha creamer, almond milk, and it is so good. It is the only one I like, and I'm like, I come home and the wife's like, what are you doing? And why'd you buy 6 of these? And I was like, they were 34 cents a piece. I had to buy them. And then I went over into the clearance little area, another little clearance area. They had the who doesn't like pretzels covered in white chocolate, and then a little bit of peppermint on top. Oh my God, they were 23 cents a bag. Bought 12 of them because they are delicious. And I would have bought more, but we're in 108 weight loss, so I can't do that. So you need to go. You know what, Sammy? I do know it goes bad. It goes bad in April. So I think I can drink 6 things of creamer between the wife and I by April. If I can't,
this is correct.
I don't know.
Brew and Luke says, drink your coffee black. What are we even doing?
There's nothing wrong with a little cream in the coffee. You can mix it up. There's no worry about it. All right?
You know what, Luke?
All right.
Unlike most of Twitter, I'm not telling you how to live your life, so don't tell me how to live mine. Okay, my friend?
Oh, fuck yeah. Shots fired again.
Let's take it easy.
All right.
Okay?
Let's get a drink in here. Let's get a drink in here, buddy.
Go for it.
It's from Senor Sox. He says, I hope Passan is rocking the balding long hair tonight. I hope so, too. We'll see.
He always is. Thank you.
I just hope he shows up. That's all.
That's always
Any of our
You'll
guests.
know it.
Fingers crossed.
We're going to see how many resolutions we can get through in Beef Loaf's banter. Beef Loaf, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, boys. I decided that I want to treat the entire audience, and mostly you two guys, with I got 5 New Year's resolutions for myself for this goddamn podcast. And
Wait.
I'm hoping
So,
to put them on.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
before you start,
Yeah.
I want to ask
I'm gonna
MSS a
write these
question.
down.
I want to ask MSS a question. How many of these do you think are actually for us? Like Beef is going to say, you know what? I'm going to stop doing this so much so my lazy fucking co-hosts will do something. Is that like three of the 5 are going to be that?
It's
At
only
least.
one of them. Well, it's kind of one. It's not really one, but I'm doing you guys a favor with one of them. Let's just put it that way. All right?
Jersey, I was going to bring this up, but in a different way. Like when he was like, you know what? I'm going to start spilling some tea. I'm going to start talking some shit on Twitter, right? And he's like, I'm going to get big. And the biggest thing he launches that night, he tags both. So like, we're going to catch shit too. So it also makes it look like we're all saying it. And it's like, no, bitch. You want to be
I'm
the
fine
tough
with that.
guy? feel free. No, it was fine, and it worked out okay. But I was just like, my God, my man, you need to take your own.
Was that when I was clipping tweets and throwing them out there? Only I got DM'd about that, not you guys. So don't worry about it. Okay? I'm not saying that one. Shh, no one heard that.
All right, let's get a
I don't
drink.
even know what you're talking about.
Baloney, he says, Chicago River hot tub Sunday soak or GFY. Dude, we don't need that
It's
nasty.
not sanitary.
We don't need that nasty fucked in hot tub. We got a nice hot tub.
Yeah, already fucked in that thing. We don't want that.
It sounds gross.
Oh, baby. All right, so now that you guys have done blabbering on, let me get to my resolutions. Starting for number 5. Number 5.
Stop blabbering. Number one.
More 108ing. More fun, and you guys will have a chance to have more right takes during the show. Also, on show night, I have a lot of adrenaline after the show. I'll pass my ass out a lot quicker. So I think I need a lot of people in the new year, like, I'm going to drink less. I'm going to do dry January. Fuck that. I'm drinking even more in the new year, just on the podcast, though, for sure. Okay. I'm gonna get bombed. What do you guys think? Good?
That's good.
So let me throw something at you. Let me throw something at you for that. I like it in one respect, but you know how our show's structured, right? We do this up front.
I'm aware, yeah.
The middle is White Sox talk, mainly baseball talk. The end is usually something fun.
Yeah.
At least 70% still coherent in that middle part. After that, I want you balls to the wall. Is the Lawrence's ad? You're doing shots. Like that's
where I get my flow really going. And we got to make sure though that last period is at least 20 minutes so that we can utilize my juiciness in there. So I like that. Andy says post show crank in 20. No crank in 2024. We got to save that for behind the paywall. All right, number 4.
Wow, none in 2024.
Well, I'm not posting any unless it's OnlyFans. I'm not posting my penis on the internet.
Oh no, he meant after the show. Let one out so you could go to sleep.
Oh, that's what he meant. I'm sorry. Yeah, good call, Andy. You're very wise. You're very smart. Number 4 is
you didn't say yes or no on that.
Defend.
It was a yes.
Oh, absolutely yes, absolutely. I'm tired by it. I'm not in the mood to crank one after the show. I'll be honest with you. Maybe you guys are. I assume MSS is cranking one during the show. I don't even know what the hell's going on.
Sometimes.
You know what?
Fucking that machine you keep posting online.
I'm just looking at it.
Beef, I'm kind of with you. Hanging out with my brother does not give me in that kind
Generally
of
not. Yeah, generally not. This is a boy talk, but it's still, whatever. Okay.
As sexy as I am.
While we're on this, number 4, defend My Sock Summer's horniness on the show more often. I feel like My Sock Summer, sometimes I leave you on Horny Island by yourself.
You do.
And I know Teresa's not throwing you Life Fest. I need to get in there and be in there with you, okay? I gotta reach across the aisle. We gotta be brothers in horniness sometimes. Not all the time. You're a little excessive, but occasionally I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna hold your hand when we do it, okay?
It's tough for me because I was on season 2 of Escape from Horny Island, so like I can't really. I don't want to go back.
That was on Fox, right?
It was. Oh yes, it was streaming. It was on their streaming platform.
Loaf, when you throw me a hand, don't reach for my actual hand. Reach for like mid wrist. So like, if there's any lube, like you'll get just my arm.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Maybe
the wrist is very strong.
Somewhere.
The wrist is very strong. We got a quick drink here from John. He says, "Happy 2024,
What's up, John?
boys. Let's make it a great year. Let's make it a great year. I love that.
Bless you, John.
Do that.
Appreciate that. Delicious drink from John. Thank you, my friend. Number 3. Get down to number 3. And, I got to use the pooter at least once per show. I've been disrespecting the fans of my fake farts going all the way back to when I started doing this. 2024 is going to be the year of the pooter. I'm going to sneak it in here at least once a show. That one counts already, so I'm not going to sneak it in later on. But I got to add that effect to it. I was doing good with it for a while. I laid off. I got to get back. What do you guys think? Okay? No?
I'm in with that.
Okay.
I don't know. I think you need to practice a little bit. Because a lot of times you're letting out weak ones.
It came out flat. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, a little bit of poo-poo. The noise wasn't good.
You got to be Leslie Nielsen if you're gonna be doing that. You got to get to that level.
I got to practice more. I agree with that. There's no question about it. All right, number 2, and this one I think is going to hit home. I think you guys, you may even want to join in on this. Number 2 is get another White Sox podcast or personality to threaten me, either physically or verbally. No subtweets. That's soft bullshit. We get those all the time. You guys know who I'm talking about. Might have a mustache. I got to go harder on things, on thoughts that I don't go hard enough on my thoughts. Like, I kind of let people go on Twitter or other places. Or if I see a podcast, I'm like, I'll tell you guys, that was incredibly fucking stupid. Why did that guy say that? And I don't really fucking dig in on them and light them up like I should, you know? And so I think in the new year, I'm going to do that. I'll probably start off with people who I know can take it, and then we'll work down to the people who can't take it and want to kill us. So I think that's the progression. You guys good with that or what?
Make enemies. Resolution number 3. I like it. I'm good with it.
I'm happy with it because that means that you'll only be making fun of me 30% of the time instead of 50% of the time, which you are now. So it will like loosen me up a little bit or let me have some free time to go out and do other things and stop being so goddamn lazy. So I like that. I like that a lot.
All right. Go ahead.
Let's get a quick drink here from our guy Dougie. He says, Happy New Year's, gents. Just here to be the official MSS cuck counter tonight. We'll see how many we get on.
That's old. He's gonna squeeze some new shit in there.
I don't think I can do that. That's 2 managers ago.
That's correct.
That's true.
It's an old bit. You can't reuse that again.
Like,
and
I like
one,
recycling, but not that much.
The goal is to be a big asshole. No, not necessarily.
A loose asshole.
It's just to push thoughts that we don't put. We're too nice, basically. I'm a little too nice. I need to just
sometimes
go.
we can be.
Not to be an asshole. I'm not going to go out of my way to be an asshole. But if I see something or hear something, it's like, we're going to push back on it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Last one, and this is my number one, is I need to upgrade my analysis game, boys, substantially. I need to look at this the way I attacked sports betting 15 years ago. I've been lazy. My sex number called me lazy earlier, and I had this written before he said that. And I had it in there. I've been lazy when it comes to analysis. I should be one of the better ones at analyzing shit. I got the raw tools, and I just haven't been doing it. So I'm going to push myself this year, better baseball analysis. Doesn't mean it's going to be super nerdy where you can't fucking understand it, because the way we do things here is different. It may include fart jokes and sexual innuendo regardless, but it's going to be better analysis. That's what I'm going to work towards.
I like that the 2 things that you're going to have to work the hardest at is in-depth baseball analysis and making farts with a rubber tool.
That was a good one. There we go.
This is a good combination. Good combination of things here.
Agreed.
I don't know, Beef. I think you've been. I don't mean to pump your tires, but you've been doing a good job with the analysis, I think. But yeah, you know what? There's always room to get better. Read a couple books.
I think Tracy. I think there's just
a little bit.
There's another layer. Like there's a next layer. Like I think for what we do a good job. But there's other layers to do it, and we could bring those other layers to the people. I think sometimes those layers, when they get talked about, they're not friendly to the crowd. I want to bring them back to the crowd, understand them thoroughly, and bring them back to the crowd so everyone can understand it. The people need to understand. That's correct.
The people.
Got another drink here.
Johnny, I've never talked about you that way, my friend.
Man. Plus, you shave it off and grow it back just for fun. I know.
I made fun of Johnny one time, and that was when I said he needed to stand on his chair during the class picture so I could see him. Now, I'll never do it again, though, because I don't want to beat my ass. I got away with one time making fun of Johnny. That's it. I'd shut up after this.
I was watching their show the other night. Johnny was ready to kick some ass.
Like I saw the clip on the end. I was like, holy shit, Johnny's pissed. He's like, hey, it's my turn to talk, motherfucker.
He was riled up. I was like, I'm glad they ain't in the same room. That shit would have got. That's cousins too, man. That shit got physical.
You gotta like get in between those two guys, you know.
Yeah,
Peter and Jason are always just jibba. You gotta like fight them to get in there. I know. I heard.
Could have been like one of those weddings you see on the internet where the shit just goes off the rails.
One can only hope.
Families throwing haymakers. Shit.
All right.
Those are my resolutions. Thanks for listening.
That's it.
I appreciate it. I was able to get through all 5 of them. I'm proud of myself.
That was very, very good.
So let's quickly get back to MSS because I want to understand a little bit more about your peppermint obsession. Like how much? Why? Like why? Peppermint is such a it's such a nothing flavor. Like I just like I see it during Christmas and I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah,
I get peppermint in this thing. You see it and you're like, I got to get in on this. I want to be on that.
So there was something that came across the wire one day, and they were talking about creamers and how creamers are mostly oil. And I was like, oh, that's fucking disgusting. Like, I shouldn't be drinking oil. So I was like, I got to get almond milk creamer. So I started doing almond milk creamer. Then I heard some things about almond milk creamer that are not good either, but at least it's better than drinking oil. So I got the almond creamer, and I tried every fucking flavor, and every flavor is fucking horrible except for peppermint mocha. And it only comes out at Christmas time at Aldi, because I only shop at Aldi. I'm not a millionaire, so I got to go to Aldi. So
It's not a millionaire.
So anyway, when they had it, they had that fucking.
There you go, Jerry.
It is peppermint mocha.
Hey, Jerry says peppermint is the pumpkin spice of Christmas.
It tastes so damn good, man.
I like peppermint Altoids to freshen the breath. I always have the Altoids on me. That's for sure.
It's just good. Yeah, no, and I think that's another thing. It comes from that. Like, I feel like I have a fresher breath, not after the coffee, but it makes me feel like I'm potentially could. Now, the other things, they're having the chocolate covered pretzels and shit. That's just because they were cheap, and I like eating chocolate covered pretzels. It had nothing to do with the peppermint. But yeah, no. If they had the same deal on pumpkin spiced anything, absolutely not. Would not go into that.
No way, I'm out.
My God.
So
MSS. We talked about this before the show, but I just want to clarify.
yeah,
Live ad read.
tonight.
Let's go,
baby.
baby.
Let's
Let's
get
do
the
it.
Mazda.
If you guys are ready and you want to be entertained by my vocal cords of gold, and make sure you have a change of pants, because here we go. Looking for a perfect way to kick off the new year? Start fresh with a brand new Mazda. Whether you're looking for a sporty sedan or a versatile SUV, Mazda has the right vehicle for you. With Mazda's signature sleek design and unmatched performance, you'll turn heads everywhere you go. And with advanced safety features like blind spot monitoring and lane departure warning, you can feel confident and protected on the road. Plus, with cutting-edge technology like Apple CarPlay and Android Audio, you can stay connected and entertained while you drive. And with Mazda's commitment to sustainability, you can feel good about reducing your carbon footprint. Visit MazdaOrlandPark.com to get all the specs and details on the complete line of Mazdas. Whether you're from the Chicagoland area, Northwest Indiana, or Southeast Wisconsin, they would love to have you visit and test drive a Mazda today. Happy New Year from your friends at Mazda of Orland Park. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom Zoom.
That was pretty good, buddy.
Pretty good, right?
I like
nice
in the comments.
live ad read.
We did get Shanta shrimp in there twice. That people love it. People love Shanta shrimp.
A couple more
It
though. Wally Money says after the show, MSS will be flipping peppermint mocha online for a huge profit. And Greg Miller says I cummed.
Hey,
You did your job, MSS. So there you go.
nice stuff.
It's really good. I mean, I'm glad to help people achieve orgasms that I might be having right now, and we don't know. Okay, with my magic fucking machine that lives under my desk.
The suck machine under the desk. Let's get a drink here from Daniel. He says, live ad read. Let's go. Schlanchen,
Yeah.
108 guys. And thank you for all that you do, but also no more Royals players for 2024, please. There's more to come.
Daniel, appreciate you.
There's got to be. Just like me, there's more to come.
Oh, man.
Oh wow! I didn't realize it was going to be that kind of show.
Oh.
Fuck.
You know, I think that was something funny to me today. It was like, we saw a couple signings from the Sox, but they're like minor league signings.
Yeah.
These guys are, you're replacing people like, Clint Frazier and Declan Cronin from the roster, and people were fucking livid.
I missed it. What
you
were they
might
saying?
you might never see this guy play. Like he may not make the roster, and you're very upset, very upset about it.
There's so much residual anger; it just keeps flowing, Teresa.
I think that's what it is, right? Like people are just mad in general, so they're like, Chad, cool.
Get
Get him out of here.
Dude,
I don't want to ever see him play. You might not.
You probably won't. You probably won't ever see him play unless you
go
fly
to
to
Charlotte.
Is he from Kansas City too? I bet he went to New Trier.
It's wild. But we do
wild.
have a guest tonight. We do have a
Yeah,
guest
that's
tonight, so I
correct.
want to.
Did you find that?
wanna bring
Okay, I
him
just
in.
wanted to make sure you could find that.
I was able to find that amongst all of your new pictures,
good.
MSS.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
Tonight's guest writes for ESPN and is one of the most reliable sources on the internet for baseball news and for murdering beef loaf. Welcome to the show, Jeff Passan. Jeff, welcome, my friend.
That, you know, of those two things, you know which I'm proudest of, right?
I appreciate you taking it easy on me through the holiday season. You know, I don't want to get embarrassed, especially if I'm at a holiday gathering. It's like, then I'm getting bodied on the internet. I appreciate you. You were very nice to me. I appreciate that.
No, it's okay. I feel munificent this time of year, and I was just saving it all for now.
Well, okay, I guess.
Jeff, before we get started, we know, man, you had one hell of an injury, and like I'm just wondering, how are you doing, man? How's everything going? How you feeling?
It's going okay. Like I thought I had gotten over a hump. I played golf at the winter meetings, and I birdied the last hole. And I have never been more excited in my life. Like birth of my children, close, like really close. And then I'm trying to work out a couple weeks ago, and it's just like and locked up. So what I'm understanding, of course. What I'm understanding is I am not Superman, and I'm old. I don't look old, but I'm old as shit. Like I have a kid who's gonna be in college soon. I'm like that kind of old.
Damn.
Yeah.
That makes MSS and I feel young because my daughter's in 8th grade and his daughter's even younger than that. So like, wow,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't realize.
It doesn't make me feel young, and I have no kids. I look like shit.
No kids that you know of. Let's do it that way. You know, who knows? So
Why are you the grayest if you have no kids? By the way,
Yes!
Is that by choice?
Yes.
I've had a lot of good times, Jeff. I've had a lot of good times.
Jeff, we were at a holiday party, like a friend holiday party. Some people we haven't seen in a long time, and a lady we haven't seen probably in 10 years. She's known Treasy and I since we were kids. We all went to grade school together. Because she saw how gray he was, she claimed that I was probably dyeing my hair. Like I should have been grayer because I'm older than him, and I'm what the hell?
Here's the thing. I've been accused of that in the past, and I can solemnly swear on everything that is good to me. I've dyed my hair once in my life, and it was when I was 21, and a good friend of mine was trying to sleep with a hairdresser. And
buy some services for me.
She's like, we have this hair show going on right now, and we need models. And I'm like, okay. You know, an hour later, I have frosted tips, and it's just bad news. Like, just really, really bad. But I did it for my guy. And
bad hair, but great wingman. That's what
I was going to say. This is like
right?
all-time wingman. All time.
I try to be, you know, like, isn't that the most important part of life? Like, your friends can rely on you.
Absolutely.
Like, what's better? How long have you guys been doing this?
This is the start of season 6, so 6 years we've been doing the blog. 8.
Yeah.
You know, so
All right,
wow.
so 8 years. And how long have you guys known each other?
I mean, Treasy's my brother, so we grew up together, and we've known My Sock Summer for 12 years, 10, 12 years.
Yeah,
like
about
that.
12 years.
Huh?
Yeah, it'll be 12 years.
That is
this,
why you can
season.
start something like this, because you can trust them, because you believe them, because you know that, like, there are just some people in the world, like the ones who will dye their hair for you, that you can rely on all the time. And that's the kind of person that you should always aspire to be.
Not just dye your hair though, but also be in the hair show. Like you had to walk around and people look at Jeff's frosted tips. He's wearing a nice Z Cavarici sweater and some Guess jeans.
You are going back to like the 80s with the Cavaricis there.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, I know. I dated a hairdresser. I had some flame red tips at a certain point. You know, she was just like, "Hey, we're gonna put some highlights in there for you." And I was like, "You know what? It's costing me $0. You do what you want to do. I'm
red.
in."
Like, would you like spike them out like red spikes too?
I had basically what you have for your hair right now, but it was just straight, like was poof, like out, you know. And I would just say, yeah, it was definitely a lot of spikes going on.
I need pictures of this so bad.
I was just gonna say,
There's one.
Like,
There's
you're not
one up on
contributing anything right now anyway. Go find a picture.
MSS is like, the only picture is there's a mural of me in Southern California. That's it. There's no physical pictures.
This was in Arizona, Loaf.
I'm sorry.
You know, it was before California, but yes, I did used to live out west. I'm sure Jeff does not know that, but yes, I used to live out west in Arizona and Huntington Beach, California.
And so this was your Arizona days.
This were Arizona days. Yes, those are the hairdresser days. And hairdressers like to party.
Is there a picture of this somewhere?
There is. Here, I will.
Please.
When you guys get into
Let's
some
talk
baseball,
about the White Sox a
I'll
little
get
bit.
there.
We're gonna get it. Let's get into something. I'm gonna bring up a video, Jeff, from last year when you came on the show, because there was something that you said that was extremely accurate. So we're gonna bring that up, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Take yourself out of your fan clothing for a second, except for you, Beef. Please never take yourself out of clothing. I'm really sincere. If you own an entity that you expected to do something, it didn't meet those expectations, how much more would you want to invest in it?
Right.
I'm not sitting here saying Jerry Reinsdorf should spend more money. He's in Chicago. Like, Chicago is Chicago. Act like it. But at the same time, I also try to understand the human emotions that go into this, because I don't think that people are just inherently cheap with things like baseball teams, with a few exceptions. And I look at the White Sox right now, and if I own the White Sox, I would ask myself, am I investing into a lemon? Am I investing into something? Am I putting money into a car that's just going to crap out again? And at very least, that gives you pause.
Now, Jeff, did you pay attention to how
tonight? By the way,
all of our hearts
monster shit
broke?
Good Lord.
We were like Ralph Wiggum on The Simpsons, all watching our hearts break in that moment when you said that the Sox might be a lemon, but you were 100% accurate on that.
Yeah, the word I was looking for there, by the way, was money pit, because that's what they were. They were a money pit, and to see it disintegrate in the fashion it did. Before I came on today, I was thinking about this, and I don't want to like break your hearts again, but I think this is going to be the more heartbreaking of these two things. When we fall in love with something, and that something doesn't turn out to be what we wanted it to be, or believed it was going to be, or thought it could be, there's nothing worse. And I have a tough time thinking of a baseball team in whom fans invested like the White Sox fans did over the last 6 years during this plan, and were given jack shit in return.
Yeah.
That's what, I mean, like, what this was supposed to be so good. It was supposed to be so good. And Yohan Moncada was supposed to be a superstar, and Eloy Jimenez and Dylan Cease. And here's the thing. We talk about these guys, and they may not be necessarily what you wanted them to be, hope they would be, but they're not nothing. That's the worst part about it. Even when you don't get superstar, you get at least, maybe not Moncada anymore, but certainly the others, at least like average to slightly above average big leaguer, like a guy you would want on a championship team. But the problem is, when you go the prospect route, when you build up the plan, when you talk about how you just need patience and you just need to trust the process, the problem that we've learned in sports is that the process still exists in an environment where you have to be the luckiest out of 30 to actually do what you intend to do. And the odds in those cases are so ridiculously against the team that I think what Tampa Bay does, right? What Tampa Bay does, by the way, on the lowest payroll practically in baseball, year after year after year, is they give themselves a shot at the playoffs. And as much as we want to build these dream teams, there's an argument, is there not, in favor of having a team that can sustain it year after year after year after year, going on a decade now, and maybe you just get hot one of those years. Maybe everything comes together, because that's all it fucking takes. Yeah. The Texas Rangers went into the playoffs this year, and they looked terrible. And they dominated. They crushed everyone. And they're world champions now. So all you need, to me, if I'm a fan, I don't root for baseball teams anymore. I grew up, though. I grew up with a team like that. I grew up in Cleveland, guys, And you remember the Indians from 1994 to like the mid 2000s?
Yeah, they were crushing us on a regular basis.
They were awesome. You guys saw Albert Bell. Yep. Like, you saw him win a game, and he wasn't what he was in Cleveland, but you thought you were getting what you had gotten in Cleveland. And so that's why if ever anyone tries to say, you guys won a World Series back in 2005, and yes, somebody from ESPN can acknowledge the existence.
We appreciate that.
Well, we're trying hard. We really are. Like, I promise you, I work with really good people. Really good people. I'm serious. Like, I love my colleagues. They're fantastic. You can look back at that and say it was less than 20 years ago. But what you guys have been subjected to over the last decade, just the extreme tease and the pain that comes from that tease afterward, I think it's unparalleled in baseball. And is there anyone else to you guys who even compares?
I don't think so. With the promise that was put out there, and that's why right before you came on, we were like, people are yelling, "Chad, cool," and getting upset that Brett Phillips got a minor league deal because the residual anger, there's nowhere for it to go except into anything that happens with the White Sox, and it's coming out, and we're over there trying to be like turn some humor into it or whatever, but people are pissed.
No, but here's the thing. They realized last year it's a lemon, and this is the start of something very painful. And the reason that fans, I think, are so angry is because they don't want to go through this again. They don't want to be told we're going in this particular direction, and at the end of the rainbow, there is ye pot of gold. Sometimes you get there, and someone stole the gold from the pot, and it's just an empty cauldron. And that's what you guys had the first time. So why would White Sox fans ever believe it's listen, a different group running things now, right? Like Rick Hahn, Kenny Williams, they had their time. No, Chirizi, you shake your head. Chris Getz is different.
Yeah, sure. We'll get to that. We want to get to that. We want to get to that. Yep.
Yeah, I don't. Let's get to that right now. I don't think I don't think it's fair to. People are going to, because that's the way that sports is. But the way I try and look at these things is very holistically. And I think judging somebody by his transactions in a year where he's starting what may not be a tank, but may very well be a tank, is a very, very bad way to judge a president of baseball operations or general manager. I think you need to give him time before you render an opinion on these. I'll
defend myself there. I have not been judgmental on his moves thus far.
Yeah.
I've been judgmental on his work with the team over the previous 7 years, where he was in charge of player development and they didn't develop players. And so that's what gives people more pause than anything. It's kind of like, why did this guy get promoted? And I think that's a question that we'd love to hear from you if you have insight to that.
I think there are a couple of elements. I think one, they wanted someone who had been on the field recently. I think that was an important thing. You see the success of Chris Young. You've seen the success of Jerry Dipoto in Seattle. I mean, 54% comment notwithstanding, they've taken something there and actually made it good. The Mariners have a spectacular farm system right now. I think blaming a farm director for the lack of major league players is a reasonable thing to do, but it needs to be done in the context of how those surrounded him performed.
Yeah.
How were the drafts that he was given? Maybe the players who were taken just weren't very good. So that's on the scouting director and the upper levels. Maybe the performance coaches that are in place that have been hired by others or put into place by others because, of relationships or otherwise that were out of his control. Maybe that was something that affected it. There's so many things that go into developing players. The Dodgers aren't a good organization because, Will Rhymes is a good player development director. They're a good organization because every part of that team works really well together and is integrated together. And we can look at Rick Hahn's tenure, and we can look at the Tatis trade. And we can look at the Simeon and Bassett trade. Those are not good. But I think that ultimately, like, something that goes back on general managers, presidents of baseball operations is, how does your organization operate and how well does it run together? And ultimately, the question sometimes is answered by, it doesn't, because our owner doesn't let it. And I think the Tony La Russa hire was the perfect example of the organizational failure that comes top down. And so when you have this cascade of things, I feel like at every level, it gets a little bit worse and a little bit deeper and a little bit more problematic. So at that top level, when you have Ken Williams and Rick Hahn there and they're told, well, we're giving you a manager who you don't want. Do you question him? No, he's your boss. He owns the team. If you say no, you're unemployed. You try and do the best you can under those circumstances to make this work. But then if the people underneath understand that something as imperative as the major league manager can be foisted on the two people in charge of baseball operations, what does that mean for our level? How does that filter down to us? How does that make things more potentially problematic? That's where organizational problems fester and root and metastasize and turn into what we've got right now. And so I think that, look, if you want to have the basic answer, no, the White Sox organization did not churn out players at the level of other top organizations in the time that Chris Getz was there. Do I blame Chris Getz entirely for that? Hell no. Because being a farm director in an organization like the White Sox is extremely hard. It's the second hardest job in baseball, by the way. Baseball operations president or general manager, whoever's running the organization, that is the hardest job. Second hardest job in every organization is farm director. You have 175 idiots that you're in charge of. And I say that because you have 18 to 23-year-old men who have money and who have privilege and who are just, most of them are really good. Good people, they care. But there are dumbasses in every organization. And as farm director, you're responsible for everything that they get into. So what you get through that job is the ability to learn how to solve problems, right? The Chicago White Sox are one big ass problem right now. And so if anyone in that organization, I'm serious, if anyone in that organization had the problem solving capabilities to come in and try and be logical and rational, but also apply this baseball brain that's really good. If you talk to anyone who's played with Chris Getz or knows him, he's a really bright guy. And fellow GMs have said he is aggressive and he is creative and he is maddening with the Dylan Cease trade, which is honestly how it should be.
That's good.
If you're trading, no, seriously, if you're trading, and I still think the White Sox are going to, but if you're trading a guy who can be as good as Dylan Cease has been, your return better not miss. That's what ruins rebuilds. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end,
Moncada.
Chris Sale got Kopech and Moncada. Exactly. Right. And neither of them hit.
Nope.
Like neither of them did. And on top of that, you paid Moncada, which at the time was a very reasonable thing to do.
Yeah.
He had a great year.
Yeah. I mean, now you look at it and it's like, baseball's the worst. Like, things just happen.
Jeff, there's a lot to chew on there. Regarding
the
organizational,
for a long time. I apologize.
That's good.
No, I love it.
I
loved every second of it because it's spawning more questions. The organizational rot. Chris was here and he saw it. Do you think that's an advantage to him to be able to navigate it as he goes up the chain and becomes the chief person of making baseball decisions here? You think it's helpful?
I think that there are two ways to look at this, right? I think there are two kinds of people who Jerry Reinsdorf might listen to. Number one is somebody who's been in the organization for a long time because we understand how important loyalty is to him. And, there is a reason that people stay with the White Sox for a long time because Jerry allows it. Like he in this time where general managers and presidents of baseball operations will get fired and managers will get fired after a year, that's just not something that Jerry does. So if you've been around, you'll have his ear. Now, the one thing I'd be curious to see, and we didn't see it this time around, is if there's someone from the outside who is so accomplished that Jerry, as a businessman, needs to recognize that accomplishment, the White Sox lack of accomplishment, and say, I'm going to listen. Does that person exist? I don't know. Well, that's why the White Sox are, in large part, I think, where they are. Because I think, even if owners stay for a while, I think turnover in just about any organization is not just like warranted, but necessary. Like otherwise you don't evolve.
You need fresh ideas.
And the White Sox, for the many things that you can say about the White Sox that are frustrating, I think the most frustrating is probably the notion that this organization stuck in the 1980s or 1990s. Like, is that something that you guys feel like that is not a modern organization?
Correct. And most fans feel that way as well, especially when you hear things like Chris Getz was getting a lot of roses for just bringing the development group up to par, up to average with regards to what other development groups were doing, meaning we were so far behind that he had to do a lot of work just to get you to where you are, where you're starting to fall behind again because everyone's trudging ahead, so yes, that has been something White Sox fans have been maddened about. Back on the Hahn thing for 1 second, we talked about
MSS. Did you get the photo?
You got it?
Oh, yeah, they're there. We'll get there at the end. I got 3 photos. Okay. I'll give you 3. I'm
sorry. I was talking for so long that I just forgot you existed.
No big deal. Listen, I'm not going to be like how I was last time, all yelling and stuff. So, you're going to have a nice, relaxed summer tonight. What I was going to say, though,
setting up for something at the end.
Yeah. I'd be fearful if I were you.
No, the fans like things from the 90s, Jeff. They like the intro from the 90s. They like the prices from the 90s. They like that kind of stuff. But they don't want baseball operations to be like the 90s, which is very confusing to our ownership group and front office, because they're like, you want the same intro we've had for 72 years, keep playing Thunderstruck, but don't just continue to pretend that we don't have scouts and people looking in Asia and the Dominican and all that stuff. So yeah, it's confusing.
Listen, we've seen what it can look like when, no disrespect intended, but the second team in a big city starts to spend money and starts to play interested. The White Sox could be the Mets.
Yep.
All it takes is someone who's rich and willing to spend. That's it. Now, the difference...
We got a rich guy. Not so
not
much
willing to spend.
It's got 2 teams, Teresi.
The difference, too, what should they do with the ballpark there?
I mean, it's in good condition, but I think every owner wants they want the real estate development along with it. And my Sox Summer and I live right by the ballpark. Literally, we could spit on the ballpark from where we live. I don't think we need a lot more condos and stuff over here. So we're a little torn. Do you want that and the stadium to stay, or do you want a relocation? Yeah, it's an interesting problem.
But it's surrounded by parking lots too, Jeff. I mean, I think. And it's said, when they developed the area, they were like, we want these parking lots right here because Jerry didn't want businesses around there to take away any money that would be spent at that park. So, which
is also such an 80s and 90s way of thinking.
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but they do allow tailgating. So a lot of people, we got a lot of healthy tailgaters, that will get there pretty early and cook up their own food and stuff. And you can bring anything you want into the ballpark for the most part, even guns.
We haven't tried it ourselves, but allegedly,
No, I once tried to bring in an entire pizza into the ballpark, and they told me I could not bring it in because it was not in a plastic bag.
So you went and folded the slices. You can do that. You can do the slice. If you fold them and you have the crust down on both sides, and then you go crust to crust and do it again, you can get an entire pizza in about this big a stack, which honestly would have fit in a bag, you unenterprising motherfucker.
I should have done it.
Mic drop.
I had 2 pieces. I had one in each hand walking through security. This was pre-COVID, and I was eating them in the concourse on the way down. So, yeah.
Honestly, that's okay. You are enterprising. I take that back.
I try. I had cargo shorts on too, and if I didn't have a pack of Marble Lights in one of them, then I wanted to get ruined.
I
would have put pizzas in my pocket. Yes.
Jeff, you have no idea the level of cheapness My Sock Summers was
Pretty cheap. I just talked about how I bought 6 bottles of creamer at Aldi because they were 34 cents a piece, and they're good till April. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to drink this. Might as well buy it. It's a peppermint mocha. A little basic bitch. My Sock Summer tonight. That's okay. I'm all right with that. It's an enterprise. I save some money. That's
Be you,
I
baby.
Can spend it on something.
Good to know someone.
Back to the program.
The White Sox does.
But yeah, Jeff, real quick, it's obvious that they don't want a lot around the park because they did not lobby at all for the casino to be near the park, and that would have been a great location for the casino. And
admittedly,
no
let's look at what Steve Cohen's doing right now. Like, he's trying to get a casino right next to Citi Field.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a blueprint for what the White Sox could be.
Yeah.
They just aren't.
Well, if the stadium wasn't owned by the state too, they could do a lot more also in there. And so the sweetheart deal that they have, it also hurts them because they can't put a casino or put betting stations in there and all that stuff because it's a state-owned property.
Yeah, they don't have the level of control, right?
Yeah.
But it's not even it's not so much like what can't they do with the stadium and maybe even the parking lots around it, but like Jerry's a real estate guy. He could figure out how to get buy stuff around there. He could have bought on the east side of the expressway long ago. It was very cheap and built up a ton of stuff over there. He chose not to.
Yeah.
Sorry, let's get back to the hot talk.
Let's stop talking about our terrible owner that we were trying to forget him for a little while. So I wanted to double back on Han right here.
You know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? I want to jump in a second because I was very dark earlier about this. I feel like as a sports fan, you need to love those experiences that did make you feel good. And looking back at that team that turned out not to be very good, it was still cool as hell those days when you saw Moncada tearing things up in the minor leagues and then coming up and looking like he was going to be a star. And when Kopech showed those little flashes, and you see all of these things that make you feel good. And remember, the tenure of Williams and Hahn is not going to, it will go down relatively ignominiously. Right. But I don't think that the process along the way they messed up all that bad. There were some bad moves in there, but I do want to say, it just so happened these guys didn't turn out to be what the entire industry thought they were going to.
Yeah.
The reason we all, myself included, the moron who picked the White Sox to win the World Series, right?
We remember.
I did that. With La Russa as the manager, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know why you've been listening to me for 30
Drinking
minutes.
that Kool-Aid, Jeff.
But I think the team that they put in place, it's almost like in the multiverse, in some other, half the universes, the White Sox are good.
We win 3 titles. We have a big run. Yeah.
No, but that is the beauty and the agony of sports. That is why I don't know how you guys felt in 2005, but I imagine that if you experienced it again, you would appreciate it still so much more than you did back.
Yes.
No,
so
absolutely.
much.
There's
more.
no question.
The struggle makes it worth it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. It really is. And so I don't want, as this era comes to a close, and I feel like next time we talk, it's going to be about, okay, how did year one go? So as we're putting a bow on this, White Sox fans shouldn't look back on this in pure anger and hatred. That's the way to a black sports heart. That's the way that you get turned off from your team. There were still good times. And even though those good times didn't portend what you ultimately wanted them to or thought they would, they were still really good times. So do not forget those.
Yeah, totally agree. Game 3 in the ALDS against Houston, Lurie Legends home run when there was beer spraying all over us and everything. Yes, we remember those great times. Now I'm gonna try to get this question off one more time about Hahn. Now we had a lot of we were not big fans of Rick Hahn throughout his tenure, and one of the reasons that we would kind of pick on him a little more is that no organization would come here and poach anyone that he has hired into his front office below him. So my question to you is Josh Barfield, so like no assistant GMs, no anyone that can't kind of like they hired in to be his underlings would get another org would come and grab them. And so my question for you is Josh Barfield possibly one of the best hirings or most important hirings in this White Sox organization going forward as Chris Getz' right-hand man?
Okay, a couple of things. One, that premise right there, generally guys get hired out of front offices that have really successful on-field teams. Were the White Sox ever that? I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't. Here's the thing. I don't think it necessarily means that the hires were all bad. Okay. But listen, people around baseball like Josh Barfield a lot. They think he's got like star quality. People in Arizona loved him and were sad that he was going to go. But again, isn't Josh Barfield only going to be like determined by how successful or not successful this organization is? Like, isn't that what it comes down to? And I suppose the point you're making is that the success of the organization, if they're not going to be spending money, in likelihood comes down to his ability to produce players.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, it's a vital, if you're going to run yourself like a second or third division team money wise, then yeah, you better be producing players.
Fair enough.
Yes.
The answer almost makes me sad. Like, oh, he's not even that worth that much. So, okay, all right.
No. I'm not suggesting that. Again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, though. It doesn't matter how good or bad someone is. Like, what matters is if you have, you could have like the strongest heart in the world, something that is going to, should beat until you're 100, but if you don't take care of yourself, if you're frail, if you have an injury, if all these other external factors that aren't okay exist. Now, this is not to say that there are going to be external factors that aren't okay, but clearly there are things in the organization that need work. It doesn't matter how great Josh Barfield is there. Like, he's got to be lifted up by those around him in the same way that he's trying to lift guys up for them.
So we look at the lemon that was last year, and like you just said, next year we'll be talking about how did year one go. What should we expect as fans of year one? Like, I know what Vegas is telling us, like 64 and a half wins.
Yeah, they're going to be really bad.
Oh man!
But
Jeff only shoots us straight, boys. I mean, whatever he tells us, he's shooting us straight.
But what should we be looking for? Like, what should we be keeping an eye on as fans of this team?
What should you be looking for? You should be looking for how Colson Montgomery does in AAA. You should be looking for how many innings they get Noah Schultz up to. You should be looking for whether Brian Ramos is taking a step forward and progressing. Like, there are good things that you should be looking forward to. They're just the same things you were looking forward to, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. How long was it now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
about that.
like, Chirizi, I hate to say it to you, buddy, but you know how to do this.
We know the team's going to be bad. I'm just saying, like, as we try and judge a Chris Getz, right? Like, how am I supposed to judge Chris Getz in year one coming through this?
I would judge Chris Getz on how he does in the Dylan Cease trade, if in fact there is a Dylan Cease trade, and I do think there's going to be a Dylan Cease trade. I would judge him on. I mean, I don't want to judge him on Paul DeYoung, but look,
we will not.
Or maybe do, like, the ability to go after low dollar guys that really nobody else wants and either see something in them that no one else does, or extract something from them that no one else believes they can is a real skill. Like, that's what good general managers do. Yeah. So I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, Paul DeYoung stunk in St. Louis, he stunk in Toronto, he stunk in San Francisco, ended up jobless at the end of the year. You give him $1.75 million. Why? The answer is because baseball's weird. And baseball's weird may not be a $1.75 million answer, but the point there is just because someone's been bad at some point along the way doesn't mean that they can't be good. And Chris Getz is making a bet on him, and it's not a big bet.
Right.
And you know what? Like, we hear $1.75 million. If he shows up in spring training and is absolutely terrible and isn't a big leaguer, exactly, like,
just let him go. Let him go. See you later. A lot of these gambles look like that, Jeff. Where hey, they don't look like anything. They're easy to rip that Band-Aid off and throw it out.
You know, that's exactly right. And it's why you need to, you know, one of the failures of the White Sox, I think, in their ascent was not signing the guys long-term when they should have. Like, was not committing the money in those years where you're like, you know, maybe we're a couple of guys away. You know, it's not like Benintendi was just too late.
Yeah.
Like, he would have been a good complimentary player a few years earlier, or someone of that ilk. They just got him too late.
Yeah, they should have bought in 19. They should have traded at the trade deadline in 2020. They were they were late. You're right, Jeff. That's totally right.
Yeah, and there are a lot of organizations that end up missing because they're late on things. I think the Royals are a perfect example of that. After 15, they didn't break up the team nearly fast enough. And you have to, like,
right.
It's such a weird part of the game, and such a difficult thing for me to reconcile, like, personally too, this idea that what Tampa does, being as personal an organization toward the players when they're there as it exists. Like, their coaching is really good, their communication is really good. Like, players who are there feel like they're part of something. But then the Rays will just be like, doesn't matter who you are.
You're making too much money. You're getting too old. We got to get you out of here. That's
and the worst part about it is, for all, like, maybe like the karmic retribution is Wander Franco, because the one guy who they could long term,
they want to sign.
Yikes!
Yeah.
It's right back to that hardest job in the organization. You know, the one decision he finally makes. You know what? We should probably keep this guy. Pedophile. Yeah. Awesome. You know, good job. Yeah. Not good.
I don't, you know, I'm not going to say anything now beyond the facts that are out there, but it's, you know, it's disturbing. And good, you know, for all of baseball, it's scary that something like this is happening, and with such a prominent player, no less. But the Rays, in a baseball sense, they do things a particular way, and most organizations don't have the stomach to do that. Like, to just say, when you are at your peak value, we're going to move you because honestly, we feel like this is what we need to do in order to compete. And how can you argue with them? Right. Look at what they've done. It's really good. It's really good, and it's really consistent. And that, I think, is, as you guys endeavor on this journey, that is all you need to be looking for. Because if you can get to that place of consistency, if you can get to that place of organizational stability, it's going to happen again.
Give me the 54%, Jeff. I don't care if the Poto got in trouble for it. Give me that right here. Chicago, we would take that.
You will take it every.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did I give a 54% speech without saying the number?
You said it earlier. No, you said the number.
No, I know I said it earlier, but I'm almost feeling like what I was talking about earlier, like the sustainability is almost like the 54%.
It kind of is. 54. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I mean, the Rays a little better than 54, but that's okay.
Okay. There you go. Thank you.
They should do that. I want to say one last White Sox question, because our commenters are really hot for it. They need your thoughts on Dylan Cease. When is he going? Where is he going? Any ideas? Any spitball anything for us? Because really, the White Sox entire offseason, amongst all these tiny little moves that we've been talking about and people have been raising their fists at, it's really just been watching the potential for where Dylan Cease is going, what the return might look like.
I don't know the answer to either of those things. I wish I did. There's a reason that I don't speculate on things generally. Like, people are talking to someone. The reason I don't do that is because the way transactions work is it's a light switch. You're always on the precipice of a trade, right? You always know what it's going to take. The other side's just not willing to get there yet. And it's every trade discussion, unless it's like this person is off limits, every trade discussion is a phone call away, is the ability to wake up one morning and feel lucky. And I know it's not that flippant, right? But wake up one morning and have through this deliberation convinced yourself as a general manager that this is going to be the right thing to do, even if there's a risk that comes with it. And that's the calculus we all need to understand is going on here. This is just one long exercise in risk management. And at some point, Dylan Cease's talent is going to be too much for one of these teams that's considering trading for him to wait another day and potentially lose him out to someone else. And they'll say, we are willing to take this risk and put more in. Like, think about this. Ryan Pepio's good. Like, Ryan Pepio's going to be really good. He's got an elite changeup, fastball command. Like, he's a good pitcher. The Rays got him for 1 year of Tyler Glasnow. And they dumped Manny Margot's contract. Yep. And they got Johnny DeLuca, who's a big league outfielder, coming back. Now, this was done with the idea that Glasnow was going to sign an extension. So the package that the Rays got back was better than they would have in another situation where a team would not have been willing to give up quite as much for just 1 year Glasnow. But this is all to illustrate Chris Getz should be asking for a lot, because 2 years ago, Dylan Cease finished third in the Cy Young. Is that right?
Second
in the Cy Young. And he has 2 years of control. And his shit is still really good. And you're getting him cheap because he's in arbitration, and arbitration doesn't pay pitchers a whole lot. And like, he has to be waiting for the right deal to come around and has to believe if Dylan Cease doesn't get traded, I'm not going to sit here and blame Chris Getz, because he should be asking for the moon. And because also, by the way, that moon dawns again in July. And you might get more when you have desperate teams that want to win a World Series and see Dylan Cease as the apple of their eye and the key to them winning a World Series.
Yep.
Or just getting to the playoffs. It's precisely how, with, I believe, 2 years left or a year and a half left of control, Cincinnati got Noelvi Marte and Edwin Arroyo for Luis Castillo.
Yep.
Like, you better do really well when you trade a guy. That's the moral of this story. Because if you don't, if those players you get back don't turn out to be something, then it's going to prolong what you're trying to do a lot longer than if you hit it right.
Yeah.
God, do we know this?
So speaking of trades and speaking of ongoings in the offseason, Jeff, the winter meetings were boring.
They weren't. Eric Fetty signed. That was awesome. By the way,
for us, that was kind of exciting.
We were the most excited team, actually. Yeah,
I know. I like that signing.
No, let me jump in here and say this. If you want to hate on Paul DeYoung or the other, look at what pitchers cost right now.
Yeah, I
like mediocre pitchers are 11 and 12 million a year. Guys who have been hurt are 14 and 16 million.
Frankie Montas, yeah. I like Frankie Montas, not that much though.
I don't know what Eric Fetty's going to be. His first time around in the big leagues was not great, but when he went to Korea, he got a slider, and it's a good, it is a good slider, a good enough slider where, let's say he doesn't work out in the rotation. I do think he's going to work out in the rotation. By the way, look at the depth that he got. Did he throw 200 innings last? It was only 25 starts. He threw a lot of innings and struck out a lot of dudes in Korea. And I know it's not the same level, but he was really successful. If it doesn't work out in the rotation, it's a slider that plays at the back end of the bullpen. And honestly, $7.5 million for a really good reliever, which I
the Sox have paid more for relievers.
Oh my god.
Old regime.
I think Fetty for 15 surprised people. I think Fetty for 15 is going to wind up being a really good signing.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That is one. I mean, me and Beef do trades with every team each year as a blog series, and Fetty was a guy I traded for the year before. Before he ended up going to Korea, just because there's the pedigree there, and he was going to be non-tendered, he was going to be kind of free,
right?
And so him coming back and him actually finding some success, I'm bullish on him. So I'm excited to see what he becomes.
And listen, I'm going to be very curious to see too, like what of the Bummer deal, like who
what comes out of this?
That was a strange deal when we saw it go down.
Yep.
You know what that deal was? That deal was my roster is so horseshit. I'm gonna buck off a shotgun and one of the pellets is gonna hit. And a couple of them do. That's great.
I think most Sox fans were big fans of it, and it was you're looking at
the Braves are gonna
fix him.
Good Bummer.
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna be elite.
He's gonna have control. Sure. He's gonna learn how to field. All the stuff's gonna come together.
You guys have seen Good Bummer though. Good
we
Bummer's
have.
Good Bummer's really good.
He's ridiculous.
Yep.
Especially with the defense.
And then he just the controls started to fade, and then balls he'd get the ground balls, but no one's playing defense, or he's not playing defense.
Right.
And it was rough. But winter meetings. So we feel like the winter meetings. Oh no, you're good, Jeff.
I love it.
How dare you, Jeff?
We'll have you go for hours if you're willing.
But I was going to say, how long are we doing this?
As long as you have.
I locked my door. My kid is probably just sitting outside right now, like, Dad.
We just we're going to throw a couple ideas at you for how to spice up the winter meetings. And you give us an evaluation on.
You give us a thumbs up or thumbs down on our ideas.
Thumbs up or thumbs down. I'll start with my Sox. We'll get my Sox summer because I'm sure this is going to be a firecracker.
Okay. And my first one is I have two, and since we're starting with me, then I'll go with my best one. I thought that you would take to have two players that have beef during the season have to come to the winter meetings and put on the Get Along shirt. So the Get Along shirt is a really big shirt, and you put two people in it, and they have to wear this shirt until they clear their problems and everything is okay. Now we're gonna do this on stage. People will be watching it, so you'll see Tim Anderson and Ramirez are gonna be in the shirt, and they have to figure out their differences. And once they've come to an agreement and they are friends, then they can take off the shirt and go do whatever they want to do. What do you think?
It reminds me. Do you guys remember Jonathan?
That
Broxton?
good, huh?
Yes.
Who?
Jonathan Broxton?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Jonathan Broxton was a big dude. I want you to go and Google Jonathan Broxton pants and look at the first Google image result when you Google Jonathan Broxton pants.
All right, I'm doing this now.
I see it. Let me see if I can
in the
pull
right
it in
pant
here.
leg.
Let me see if I can pull it in
Everett
here so we get
Kiefer.
the image up there.
Yes. Okay.
I'm on
the
it,
right
Beef.
pant leg is
I got
Everett
it. I got it
Kiefer.
in here.
You
It's
got it?
coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, let me put it up here on the screen.
Man.
There you go.
Get Along pants.
It's amazing.
In the
Been
left
done.
pant leg is Tim Collins. Now, I mean, I like this. I don't know if Jose Ramirez and Tim Anderson could fit into Jonathan Broxton's pants. But the Pittman's idea, I prefer more than the Get Along shirt.
Well,
Almost like a
that's-
four-legged
I love
race
it.
right there. It's like
That's kind of bad. I wish I want to see the Get Along shirt, Jeff. I'm sorry. I'm sticking with my idea.
It's a really bad idea. Crazy. What do you got?
So my idea was there's one thing that I always feel is devoid in the trades in MLB is, unlike other sports, you can't trade draft picks. And I would love to see that in MLB, but we do it where we put the draft lottery right at the front of the winter meetings, And then only for the duration of the winter meetings can you trade draft picks to up the amount of trades that happen during the winter meetings.
I don't ever say like an unequivocal yes to something the first time I hear it, and I'm not going to do it here because because I'm not smart enough. Seriously, I'm not smart enough to understand the unintended consequences and what could happen because of this. But just as an idea, I'm 100% on board with it. That's awesome. Like a limited, I just think limited amounts of times to do things forces action. And the fear of the Major League Baseball Players Association is that the notion of the free market exists to be free, that it is going to provide the best outcomes. And the fewest restrictions you have on the free market, the greater the chance you have of it acting rationally, or as the union wants, irrational. They're against limits on stuff like when you can trade players or when you can sign players. You know, there's proposed deadlines that'll speed things up, make the winter meetings interesting, all that. That one, though, it's really good because it's not players. I know the draft is included in collective bargaining, but no players are being affected, and the free agent market isn't necessarily going to get quite the same effect. But the argument they may make is that if players are getting traded for draft picks, and that money being put into the system, because every draft pick has like not just an attached figure for the draft pool, but an implied value that every organization puts on it. You know, like 1-1 is a $30 million asset, for example. Is that going to be the sort of thing that ends up hindering the free agent market in some way? I wouldn't think so necessarily, but yeah, I like it. I'm in.
Nice.
All right.
Good job,
do it.
Treasy.
That's a great one, Treasy.
Beef.
Yeah, beef. You
All right, last one.
MSS, yours is even worse after hearing Chorizo. He came up with an idea.
I have one more.
A shirt.
I have one more. I got one more.
Treasy's going to screw me because mine's also trade base.
Mine is too.
I love Jerry DiPoto, as he's the most transactional GM, and I wish more GMs were willing to make trades and turn over the roster. This offseason, though, Alex Anthopoulos in Atlanta joined him. So here's my pitch.
9 trades.
However many trades these guys make at the winter meetings, like when we'll set a time limit to when their trades are done, the other 28 GMs have to match that amount. So if these guys make like 6 trades, the rest of the group got to make 6 trades amongst them because they're all sitting on their hands. These 2 guys are the only ones creating action.
Then you have trades for trade's sake. That's not what we want. Like there needs to be some organic. You can't have a mandate of how much you have to do something transactionally, because the reason that that's the case is if there are mandatory like minimums for one thing, then all of a sudden they start saying we need mandatory minimums on this and on that and on salary, and then we get a lockout that takes 2 years to resolve. We don't need the restrictions. What I like about Chirizi's restrictions is that it's a very finite amount of time. You have 3 or 4 days to do this thing, and it ties into the draft lottery kicking things off, and all of a sudden trades are going to have to come together and guys are going to be creative, and that's going to get them talking more about other things like, hey, who's looking to move their pick, and hey, what's it going to take to get him, and hey, who needs draft capital as opposed to younger players, like who likes this class more than the rest of the industry, for example. Yours beef, like if you have a number of trades you have to hit, it's going to take months, and all this is going to be like in the back of your mind, like hanging.
Jeff doesn't
over
want to
you.
live in Nashville for 3 months. I don't blame you, Jeff. I don't blame you. Don't want to live there. I was thinking more like,
hold on a second.
It's like Festivus, you were
trying to say, hold on. You were trying to say you can't leave the Opry
no one
land
can leave.
until you
Nobody
make it.
can leave. Not you, no one, none of the teams. Everyone's got to stay. This is like Festivus,
You have to be there with Jerry Reinsdorf.
where George has to
Hold on.
pin Frank Costanza. No one can leave.
I've been here for 55 minutes just waiting for you to say one intelligent thing, and that's the shit that you bring out. That's what you do. at the 55-minute mark.
Get along shirt looking a little better, Jeff? and beef loaf? You're a Chirizi 2024, baby. We can't stop this madness.
It's this year, baby. Let's go.
Jeff, man, I do want to really thank you for coming on, and I appreciate you telling my brother how much smarter I am than him. But before you go, it looks like from the images that we have on the side here that My Sock Summer may have some pictures to show you.
Okay, so Jeff, I did the best I could to try to find the exact picture of me with the fire engine red highlights, and I could not find it, but all these are very similar. Here's the first one. That's blonde. Highlight.
Hold on, was your hair the color of hers?
Well, yes, kind of. Okay. But no, that was blonde in that picture. But this is another good one. Here's me at a wedding. You can see the highlights in there. Drinking that.
Actually chose to make your hair that color.
Yeah. Were you in Smash Mouth for a while before we knew?
I should have been. I outlived him, so I can maybe join now.
Whoa. Damn.
Get your vax. And then I got one last one, and I don't know if it's going to show up very well, but we'll see. There's me. My hair is
what are you
all
dressed
crazy.
Hold on, what's going on with those poor girls?
I was dressed as a samurai. It was Halloween. Those other two girls are hairdressers, and hairdressers like to party, guys. I'm here to tell you, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. They're the craziest group to hang out with, and so much fun.
What kind of samurai?
That was a Halloween party.
Bring that back up.
Wow.
Luckily,
like a chef with his cuffs curled. Like,
look at it.
Right? That's 100% a chef's coat, not a.
No, it's samurai. It was purchased in Chinatown outside of LA.
The thrift store said it was samurai.
No, I didn't do
uniform right there.
I'll try to find another
job at the time.
I'll try to find another picture the next time you're on in 2025 of the front. But it's like a samurai outfit. It's a kung fu outfit or something. I don't know. It fit.
It looked like a ninja there.
Oh, I wasn't a ninja though. I had like one of those little rice hats. Like the little pointed one. I look like Riken.
I don't think that's what it's called.
Riken? I think that's what it's called. It's a rice paddy hat or something. It keeps the sun off your head. Anyway, before I say something extremely bad,
don't get yourself
keep moving.
Well, before you say it, okay.
We'll see. I used to be on Cancelable, but now it's 2024. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen.
Jeff, again, we really appreciate you coming on and spending a full hour with us. I don't know if that was intended, but
I did not have that on my bingo.
I apologize. That's right. I said 15 minutes, Jeff. We overshot a little bit. Well, a little bit. I owe you something.
Here's the thing. I would have made something up if I was not enjoying myself. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jeff.
Always make me laugh, and I appreciate you listening to me talking for multiple minutes at a time. I swear I'm not filibustering, but I hope it was enjoyable for people listening and watching too.
My comments love it. Absolutely.
Definitely we love it. The comments are going crazy. So thank you so much, Jeff.
I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
We will see you soon.
Yes.
Thanks, Jeff.
Dude, that was awesome. That was awesome. I can't believe
Jeff always delivers, man.
Can't believe how much time he spent with us. Let me quickly open a new beer because we got a lot of drinks to catch up on.
Yes, we do.
I like that he goes away from the mic. You're like, yeah. That was good. That was very good.
Yeah.
I didn't embarrass anybody. I was very happy about that. So we did a good job.
That was fun. We had fun.
You ended pretty strong, though. You ended pretty strong.
I tried. He asked for it. He asked.
That was great.
For
the pictures are
and
great.
I delivered.
The pictures are great.
All right, let's get into this because this is going to be.
Let's hit these drinks,
quite a bit.
Should we just waterfall this?
No.
No, we should not. I
think this is
where I'm gonna have to go get some more in a minute.
This is from the last place we were at. So this is from HBIC. It says, here's $3 to help with Passan's appearance fee.
Thanks, HBIC.
We got to pay him quadruple since we kept him on 4 times as long as we supposed to.
I got to send him 3 more Wave Sox hoodies.
From Jen, cheers. Thank you.
Jen. Appreciate you.
Thanks, John.
Senor Sox was asking best trade partner for Cease, which you heard the Orioles. He said it out loud.
Don't say that.
The best deal.
He was like, I don't fucking know.
Bruhan Luke, he says, ouch. I don't know what that was in regards to.
I don't know what that's in regard to at all. I think it was how much the Sox are going to suck next year.
That could be right.
That might have been it.
Oh, we should have all been prepared for that already.
Yeah.
Greg Miller says, Jeff Passan is smart as fuck. He deserves a national gig.
Oh, maybe he'll get one someday. Thanks, Greg.
Sox Life says super sticker. I think that's probably
that's
probably just the
if you don't change the text. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Sox Life. Here's from Alexis. She says, cheers to Jeff Passan. And probably happy birthday, Alexis. I don't know. We'll probably celebrate.
Yeah, why not?
Joey P says, awesome, great interview. Cheers, Joey.
Thank you, Joey P. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Joey. Happy belated birthday.
And then one last one from Father Zoe says, guys, that was fucking fantastic. And also don't forget Terezi's idea was great and the others were not.
I mean,
fuck Treasy and his great ideas.
when you
I will slightly disagree.
When the idea came out, I was like, oh man, that is a good idea. Fuck.
Oh wait, we got two more drinks. We got two more drinks. Our guy Chucky says, great segment. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
You're doing
Happy
well.
New Year. God damn.
And then Daniel says, best trade partner for Yawn. Oh, darn. I'm too late and Jeff left. Damn.
That would have been a funny one, actually.
I do have a trade partner for Yawn Moncada. We're going to send him back to the Red Sox for Trevor Story. So that's what we're going to do.
Hey, Terezy, before we pay the bills, my other idea was actually a trade thing too. And I made a graphic and I used these guys, the trade offer guy. I like the $3 donation in the Wikipedia. But I was going to bring up your blog series where you trade with every other team. And I was going to say that every team had to trade with another team before you could be done with the whole thing. But seeing how awful
He kills me on that.
he went,
I was weak. I was weak. Those guys might make 4 trades, and Jeff's like, "Oh, fuck that idea. That's so stupid." I was like, "Oh, damn."
I'm like, my only get along shirt was my best idea. I was like, for
You know,
used it first. Good work.
Like,
The get along, the Jonathan Broxton pants though was worth it for the idea. Was worth it.
The fact that he had that in the holster. He had that in the holster. Like he knew that picture, and he was like, "Go look that picture up and bring it in."
So good. He's like, Google this right now. It's better. And I'll say this. He one-ups our Chuck because he says, Google this, and he tells you where to go. He doesn't say, hold on a second. Let me, in the middle of this live show, stream through all the millions of pictures I have on my computer, trying to find that one picture that we never found. Fucking Chuck.
Hey, Chuck did show us his fake ID, though.
He did.
So
That's true.
You know, that's pretty solid. We got another drink here from our guy Danny. He says, just to add to the chugs, and Jeff killed it.
I'm going to do my Danny face.
I had one other idea, but it was more on the fun side. It was just that I was going to say that I like the do you ever see that fantasy football league where the loser has to stay in a Waffle House for like 24 hours?
Yeah. Yes. And every waffle they eat takes an hour away.
An hour away. I was going to say that the GMs of the teams that didn't make the playoffs have to stay in there for as many hours as under 500 they were. And they can eat a waffle together, but they all have to be in the same Waffle House all together. So I think they could spark some trade talk, but it also should be live streamed on MLB.TV, and so that we could watch like
our YouTube
watching the A's general manager puke.
We'll promote
like
that.
He made all of his fans puke is something we deserve.
Yes, we do.
Missy, I'm not hammered. Get out of here, Missy.
Another drink is from Kirk.
Standing up.
For the 108 Get Along shirt fund, Beef and MSS need it first after the Twitter feud.
It wasn't even real feud. We're just yelling at each other.
Not really.
You should see us yell at each other after the show about some
God.
random bullshit. It'll be
Whoa, calm down. I'm going to talk out of school for a second because you two were bitching about this at each other before we started. You guys are going back and forth about it.
This is why I don't like not seeing you guys for a long time because I don't know what happened. I don't know.
We're going to fight, you know?
I don't know what's true or what's not. Like he's calling things scabs. I'm like, what's the scab? He's calling me lazy. I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on?
Tadahito says, great interview. Can't wait to see the Get Along shirt in the section this year.
I have a 6X 108 shirt that me and Wolf can definitely
We should do this.
We should get into
We
it.
should do
MSS, 100%.
I have it. Maybe we'll do it Saturday.
We got to cut the head bigger so we can get in there. No, we got another idea for Saturday. We'll do something.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
Saturday's going to be
best version of that.
We'll never do another live show, so we'll just do it at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Not saying that.
Oh my God. Oh, dropping.
See you later.
MSS. Why don't you pay some bills?
All right, here we go. Another live ad read. Enjoy. In 2024, every Friday is Fry-yay at Lawrence's. Lawrence's is kicking off 2024 with a fantastic offer that will make your taste buds swim with joy. Every Friday in January, get a free order of fries when you order any of their fish. Both regular and large sizes of fish are included. Not familiar with their fish menu? You have several options to choose from. Whitefish chips, a Lawrence's staple, caught on our menu since the beginning. We start with wild-caught Alaskan pollock fillets, slice them into bite-sized pieces, bread them in-house, and cook them to order. Catfish strips, farm-raised but full lake flavored catfish, coated with homemade cornmeal breading. These big meaty strips are a fan fave. Ocean perch, mild, sweet, and lean fillets of ocean perch prepared in-house daily. Crunchy cod, sustainably sourced Atlantic cod, filled nuggets in a light, slightly sweet breading. Whole catfish, another fan favorite. Join the catfish cult with our whole bone-in, headless, breaded, and fried catfish, prepared fresh daily. Turn your Friday into a Fry-yay tomorrow. Stop by one of their 4 locations today. Check them out at chicagoshrimp.com and place an order if you are on the go. Lawrence's Fisheries, serving the seafood you crave since 1950.
Good job, buddy. Good job. I love it. And we got another drink.
Hey, you want to hammer a drink before we
so
start?
Jerry O'Sullivan.
I'll drop the video.
Jeff booking himself for his 2025 appearance on the 108 was so choice. Indeed, it was. I was very excited for him to say that.
Very much appreciated.
Oh man, what a great dude! I think
fun times.
You gonna drop the video, MSS?
I'll drop the video. Once again, get ready, folks, because it's a classic.
Seconds of your life
and a banger.
Smash or pass. 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 Smash or pass.
Even though
I love it.
Teresa's
Never
trying to
delete that.
delete
Someone deleted that. It might have been me even. I don't think I deleted it, but
whoever
someone
deleted all the intro videos from Festivus deleted it. So
then it was me. Then it was me.
That's
I
okay.
think
It's
it
back.
all went.
Let's
it
not
all
worry
came
about it.
through. I got it.
It's back.
It was saved on the Dell. No big deal.
Appreciate that. So
Listen,
we're gonna play
I don't
Smash or
need that.
Pass.
I don't need that currency.
I'm holding the pen right now. I got 7 Smash or Passes for my boys. Treasy, my socks number. The first Smash or Pass for you boys. Bowl season can get monotonous after a while, but we had one very special mascot during bowl season, and that mascot was the Pop-Tart mascot. Pop-Tart mascot bowl. The Pop-Tart came out before the game, and then after the game, the champion sat around and watched as the Pop-Tart went into what looked like almost like a toaster oven and came out the other end to be eaten, and was eaten live on the field by the winners of this bowl game. Boys, are you smashing or passing the Pop-Tart mascot? Treasy, you're first.
Oh, I'm smashing. I'm smashing so hard here because this was a fantastic idea. And the way that they sold it too throughout the whole broadcast, like I watched the game and it was incredible because the thing is born and dies on the same day. And they talked about it in that level of morbidity, right? Like, just like he's only like he's living his entire life today. This bowl game is everything to this Pop-Tart, and he's gonna die for you at the end. Like he's fucking Jesus Christ. And I was like, I'm all in for this. And then I didn't even think that it was like it didn't need to be more than that. And then when they devoured the players were savages about this thing, and they left just one eye sitting there, and so it looked like fucking Two-Face from the Batman movies, and it was just like the memes and shit. Like everyone needs to do this. Like the Mayo Bowl, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Fine, it's always been a classic, and the guy eating the fries off the other guy was weird as fuck. And I'm in for all that. Like you're in a bowl game that like people are like, who gives a fuck about this bowl game? It's not part of the playoffs. Make people care about it. I loved it.
How about you? Smash or pass?
I'm just gonna smash it because I like Pop-Tarts and I want to eat some Pop-Tarts. So sure, bring it on. Yeah, I'm smashing.
I mean, what's your favorite Pop-Tarts? Give me your top 2 or 3 favorite Pop-Tarts you like.
Top Pop-Tart is cinnamon sugar or brown cinnamon sugar or whatever the fuck it is. That's the best one.
That's a Rolling Stones song, I believe. All right, next up, number 2. Yeah, exactly. Number 2, we had a little bit of a Twitter fight between 2 contemporary stars, Jimmy Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers. And then I'll put up a tweet. Jimmy Kimmel got upset. Aaron Rodgers was talking a little smack. Jimmy Kimmel kind of went back over the top of him. Yeah, exactly. You guys kind of know the debate here. Yeah. My Sock Summer, are you smashing or passing the fight between Jimmy Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers?
Passing. Because Aaron Rodgers is no longer relevant in the MSS world. Like, I don't even give a fuck. The guy is, I love the fact that he's out there promoting people take mushrooms and go on trips and do that kind of shit and do this holistic shit. But if you're going to do holistic shit and you're going to be like, everyone needs to be cool and just be chill and do this stuff, you don't start bullshit, crazy theory fights on the internet and start going crazy. This is where the people are like, oh, what the fuck happened to free speech? You can't say free speech. It's not free speech. You're talking shit and you're trying to put somebody and their family into danger. That's not funny. It's not a funny joke at this point. And like, and if Kimmel did the same thing to Aaron Rodgers, I'd be fuck you, Jimmy Kimmel. I'd say the exact same thing because this isn't a game, you know. Like you're messing with some people that don't need to be messed with. And if we didn't learn anything from January 6th, we should learn that there's a lot of crazy ass people out there. So we don't need to anger these people any more than they've already been angered. So just
a reminder, we're taking back January 6th.
Taking it back
this Saturday. Right. All right, Treasy, smash or pass this.
I'm passing because here's the problem with this is like everybody who wants to be an asshole on the internet right now is throwing out like, oh, this guy's probably on the list. And then they're photoshopping guys into the list and shit, right?
It's so stupid.
And it's taken away
some people believe that
from the fact that the Wander Franco story is out there and not enough people are paying attention to how fucked up that is. Yeah. Right? Like that should be on the front of mind. Like this kind of shit is still happening. Right? But no, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers making up some bullshit and then Jimmy Kimmel with a fake lawsuit. I don't give a fuck, man. Like just shut the fuck up, both of you.
Right. I love it. Nice work, boys. Number 3, and this is something Treasy and I got to experience together, and so I think I probably kind of know his answer. But, you know, the local New Year's Eve shows, the programming leading up into the ball drop here in Chicago, we were flipping around those various programs, and they were interesting, I'll say. Treasy E, are you smashing or passing local New Year's Eve programming?
I'm smashing.
Hang on a second. Let me put that back up. Wizzo and Billy Corgan. Okay, go ahead.
So let me tell you why.
Yeah, I need to hear this.
It was terrible. It was terrible, right? But earlier that day, I messaged you and I messaged Polish with Extra Onions and Dr. Feelgood, and I said, look what they're putting on tonight. They're putting on fucking Billy Corgan from his tea house And I was like, does no one remember when he opened that thing and he's like, we're going to stream live on like Q101 or whatever they did. And it was like 8 hours of him tuning his guitar, basically. That's how droned out the shit was. And it was like, you know, this is going to be bad. And you know what? Everyone deserved it. Everyone deserved it because you should have known how shitty it was going to be. And now you know for next time. Maybe next year we'll put something good on. Sometimes you got to learn a lesson. So I'm smashing. Way to learn a lesson.
MSS.
Well, and normally it would be like, because my boy Mark Greco is not involved in the local stuff anymore. Yeah. I would just have to say I'd have to pass. But somebody needs to come up and take that torch. Somebody is going to come up and they're going to start. They made a faux pas here. You know, going in the Madame Tussauds fucking teal house that fucking Billy Corgan is trying to save by charging $300 a ticket to fucking listen to them play, actually tune his guitar for at least 3 minutes, eat some potato chips for about 3 minutes.
Absolutely.
And then redo the Tower Records experience that they could have done at the place there was a Tower Records still available. You could, the building. You could at least go down there and do that. But hey, whatever. I'm going to also say, smash that. Let's continue to have it because we need somebody to come up and continue to have that torch going, and somebody needs to be creepy online, like my man Mark, giving Candace Davies a little bit of a kiss.
I don't even know where that went. I wasn't even trying to say Billy was the only thing on. There were lots of things on, but none of them were great. But I appreciate you guys' answers.
I don't want them to get rid of the local shows just because Billy sucked. But we got a drink from Jen. She says, "See y'all on Saturday." Can't wait.
Jen, it'd be great to see you on Saturday. Maybe you can get no one to not work during the show. So
might just black out tomorrow so that I go straight to Saturday.
That's right.
Hornsey is asking how I know how much it costs to go to the Tower Records replay show for Siamese Dream. Yes, I did look up the ticket prices, and it was $300 for regular and $600 for VIP. And I audibly laughed in my car thinking that I heard that whole record for like $20 in Davenport, Iowa. Live. That was awesome. And I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to spend $300 to hear a shittier version, especially in this economy.
Jesus. All right, number 4. And it's been a hot topic. This is a sports topic, actually. And it's been debated. And he had probably one of his best games this past weekend, Justin Fields. Justin Fields as Bears quarterback in 2024. My Sox Summer, smash or pass?
Oh, God. I don't like listening to Bears fans just continually complain, and they complain about anything. So even if we get rid of Justin Fields, the next guy that comes in who doesn't perform well right out the gate, or maybe for the first 5 weeks, people are going to lambaste and yell at him too, and they're going to be like, "This guy sucks." Fuck it. We're gonna say I'm smashing. Keep Justin Fields here. I like the people that we have here. Let's just keep it going. I almost have it tuned out, so let's just keep it here.
Treasy, what do you think?
Torched.
I'm smashing, and I got a little bit more. I've been thinking about this because everyone's arguing about it so much that it makes me think about it a little bit. So it sounds like I don't know a lot about college football, but it sounds like if there's one guy out of this draft that is like an absolute generational talent, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. Yes. I like his dad's mustache, so that helps. It doesn't help. Hasn't helped Gavin Sheets much, but in general, it's helpful. So if he's the generational talent, you use that top pick, wherever it's at up the top, and grab that guy. That does not preclude you from drafting a quarterback later in the draft. And everybody who talks about college football keeps telling me how fucking deep this draft is in quarterbacks. And it seems like the Bears got a whole bunch of other picks that they could take a quarterback with. One which will be somewhere in like the 10 to 12 range or 10 to 15 range. So grab someone there, and they could back up Fields, and that could be, if Fields sucks and this guy is good, go to that guy. So I don't know. To me, it seems like there's another option other than just saying we're just totally committing to this guy, or we're saying fuck him and get him out of here.
I love it. Yeah, it's been a hot button topic, and I've been trying to read as much as possible about it, but it feels like, to me, both sides are missing stuff. And so I really want to hear what you guys thought, and I love the answers. Absolutely beautiful.
Did you really, though?
Number 5. I did, actually. I did.
Good.
I did. Number 5. Now, this one, a little, it's controversial, But I don't know if you guys noticed, but Barstool Chicago, the dog walk, they had a draft this week on Monday, and it was hottest female animated characters, and it looked a lot like a certain draft that the 108 had, with White Sox Dave including, of the most fuckable cartoon characters. You go back and forth. They look like, and if you look at some of the picks, a lot of them are the same. So my question for you guys is, how are you feeling about Barstool Chicago doing the exact same draft as us, and including White Sox Dave? Smash or pass, Treasy?
I'm going to smash, right? Because, first of all, like, we've said it many times, drafts are just out there.
They're for the street. Right?
Yeah.
We did take the idea for that draft from Dave's conversation about Nala, right?
Yep.
So I think it's something that's interchangeable. I will say, we had more balls on this one, and we said fuckable. Because, like, hottest cartoon character, that's bullshit. You can be so, like, that's why I had Glenn Quagmire in mind, because I don't know if there's anyone more easily fuckable on the cartoon planet than Glenn Quagmire. So I think we were a little bit more honest about what we were talking about. So I think our draft, they just showed that we're willing to go that extra mile that they're not.
MSS, how about you?
In the same vein, Treasy, smash also too, because they're supposed to be the bad boys. They're supposed to be the crazy media, the ones that go to the extra mile. And here we have out crazied them into this thing. And plus, we were male and female, because when they started doing their draft, they were like, it's a female, it's the hottest female character, right? And it's all chicks. And it's like,
that's
okay,
weak.
well, why can't you have dudes in there?
Yeah.
And you had one of the teams is a girl. Why can't she draft dudes?
Yeah.
Like, and they were like, oh, well, it gets a little weird, whatever.
Yeah, team 2 on here on the graphic, if you're watching on YouTube, that's Megan's team right there. And it's actually a really
Megan,
damn good
honestly,
That's probably the best team.
She had the best team.
She
did have the best team, and she had the best descriptions of some of these people. Like, I mean, she went the extra mile, and I loved it, So, hey, yeah, we're definitely, like, we're the bad boys now, Barstool. We're sorry. We'll push the envelope a little more than you. Right? Enjoy it.
That's what we got to do. Love it. The last two, I don't have graphics for, but I figured I'd bring these ones up. Number 6. And my Saxon will probably love this one. I'm glad he's starting off. Matty Spagnola and Cy Sox fan Mike's courtship. What do you think about their courtship on Twitter? There's been a lot of flirting. There's been a lot of talk about Riz. What do you think about their courtship on Twitter?
Has there been any updates in the last 2 weeks? Because I've been kind of busy. But
there was updates today. I should have brought some of the tweets in. Yes, absolutely.
What
You're not up
happened
on
today?
it. What do you?
I'm not.
No. Yeah, I'm not telling you the whole thing. Smash or pass. Let's go.
Well, dude, first of all, I'm smashing everything about this. I love this. I brought it up on our podcast. I tweeted at Mike that we brought it up on the podcast. He was like, I'm going to listen to your podcast finally. Jerk. But yes.
I know. I'm going to kick him in his young nuts for that shit. I agree with you,
right?
MSS.
If we ever see him, we will kick him in his little balls. No, I'm kidding, Mike. I'm kidding. Please don't. Please come say hi.
Just joking, Mike. We love you, baby.
We'll bring Maddie to the section. You can come see her there. But yeah, no, like I want this to happen because I think it would do a lot of things to a lot of people online. It would get some people angry, but also it would just make me so happy, like to see Mike with this chick and just having a good time and having this happen. Girl,
the mentorship
makes me
Tracy. You see how much happy he is?
Like
he's like a proud father over there.
I just love it. I would love to see it happen. I like, you always cheer for those guys, right? You cheer for the guy that you're just like, God, I just really hope this I don't want to cheer anymore. I just wanted to make it happen, and now it's going to happen. And whatever role I can play, Mike, let me know. I will make it happen. Okay.
Tracy, tough act to follow. Smash or pass the courtship.
I'm passing for 2 reasons.
Let's go.
MSS likes this way too much, so I know it's bad.
I got to stay with MSS on Horny Island here. I'm with you, MSS.
2.
I didn't say I wanted to fuck.
It's a bit until they show up live on Missy's pregame show.
Yes.
Then I will smash. But right now I'm passing. I'm passing until
they show up live.
Passing until
pregame show live. We got a koozie, or they got the tumblers over there. Go over there and get yourself one.
Respect that. Great answers. Last one. Treasy, you'll close it out. The last smash or pass here is My Sock Summer calling me lazy on the main. Treasy, go ahead. Smash or pass?
Oh, I'm smashing this all the way. And not because I think you're lazy. But I know that if there's one way to draw ire from you, it is to insult you in a way that you don't like to be insulted. Like calling you fat, you won't give a shit.
I don't
like
care.
if I say you got a big nose or something.
I don't
But
care.
when someone calls you like lazy, or like if someone said you probably suck at basketball, like I remember MSS when we were in high school. This motherfucker told Beef, "Ah, man, you suck at basketball. You shouldn't be on the basketball team." And Beef took it upon himself to play this motherfucker one-on-one in intramurals and embarrass this motherfucker in front of his entire class. Like, so I'm all for someone, like poking the bear
on me. Yeah, exactly.
because like the outcome is always fantastic.
My Sock Summer. Smash
I'm
or
gonna-
pass, and you call me lazy.
I'm smashing it too because I did it. You called me lazy first, so I had to call you lazy back.
Mine was a
And-
joke, though. Yours, you really stuck it in there. You really, the knife was way all the way in.
Oh, yours was a joke, but I'm not. Mine isn't a joke.
The second one was serious when I put it at you.
I know, and that one hurt more.
I
And
didn't
it
mean to
was
hurt
like-
your feelings. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
When you tell me that I've only done a TikTok and then Question of Stocks Fest was coming back for the final year, I was like,
That was kind of funny, though. You got to admit, right? Yeah, that's not
I mean,
true. Everyone knows that's not true. but
This
it's like-
is what.
What,
it was
did you do
like.
something
I
else?
want to make sure that everyone thinks that because like there was probably a bunch of people that are like, this motherfucker don't do nothing except not pronounce shit right. He doesn't even know how to say the words right, and it gets me very concerned that like just because my shit ain't forward facing like the Aju Monday nights sometimes at 8 p.m. Or 6 p.m.
6 p.m. you asshole.
6 p.m. I just said I just changed it. 6 p.m.
Sometimes,
like,
yes.
sometimes it depends. It's,
I
it's
did.
one of these
I
things.
did
Just wanna
enjoy the
make sure.
recorded ads this week. The recorded ads were really great.
Hey, listen.
He was
What?
I
It's a
really-
great wolf. He was
I
on.
did
He was
everything
on water
I
slides.
had
Oh wait,
to
no,
do.
he was not on water slides. Too fat to get on the water slide. That's what
No,
I found out from
I
us.
did go on water slides, and I nearly threw up the first time I went on one because I like dropped too fast, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
whoa! I was
Too
not.
fat, too soft to be on the water slide. Oh
No,
my
I
God, I can't believe you're admitting this to the audience.
No, I'm not too soft. I went on all of them with my daughter. I had to.
I thought you said
I mean,
you didn't
she
go on
needed
them.
a
Okay,
partner.
all right.
But also, and I'll take a picture and show it later. But the 108 swim trunks that we all have, there's
little
a little
snug.
grommet in the
Little
back.
snug,
There's
yeah.
like a grommet, and
Yeah.
I was dragging ass down the big tile wave thing, ripped my fucking 108 swim trunks.
So did you have ass just hanging out as you're coming off
because
this?
because there's a really thick liner in there, then it's really nice. So like you couldn't see my ass. So I was wearing them.
I wish
and then-
Reno was on the show right now to ask you what color
Today-
your asshole was.
He was like,
Hey.
show the pink asshole, please.
So today I like had brought another fucking pair of shorts, but they were a little loose, and I was like, if I have to go down one of these rides, I'm losing my shorts. I can't wear these, so I had to wear the ass out fucking swim trunks again today, just in case that I didn't want to show butt, or cock.
So he's got a split swim trunk with
It's
just
not-
the liner in his
no,
ass
no,
peeking
no.
through there.
It's
Beef,
just-
Beef, I
like
haven't
this
been to
big.
this place,
You're
but
pink?
I'm sure they do not sell swim trunks at this water park.
At that size.
not buying
No,
one.
they
What
sell
the
them at
fuck
that
are
size.
you for?
Whoa, Great Wolf.
Yeah.
I bet you that my sock summer was like
$87 probably.
no. I bet he was below the median of skinniness. Because Great Wolf, there are some humongous monsters.
No.
in Great Wolf.
With
Oh my
not-
I
God.
assume they sell them there.
close to
they're
I
huge.
assume they sell them there. This motherfucker just too cheap
No.
to buy, and he'd rather have his
No.
ass hanging out.
It really
Here's
wasn't.
the
that
swim
bad.
trunks you could buy there. Like everyone can get into them. The three of us can get into these swim trunks right here.
I am going to
thought
take a
about it.
picture and tweet this shit because they weren't ripped that bad. You guys are gonna be like, oh, that's not really that bad. That's probably what's gonna happen. That's in the front, Maloney.
Rip for breathability. That's the old swim trunks, the ones I have behind me right here. We would need to rip those open to get in those.
Those are something. European sizes are different.
weren't comfortable unless you had to smoke a clove in somebody's neighbor's yard. You know, that's when they got comfortable.
Beef, did you have more?
That is smash or pass, my friends. Thank you. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
man.
Well,
we gotta.
the outro.
Smash or pass. 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 Smash or pass.
So, Jerry,
Just great.
Jerry, before we go further, I was not in the Dells. I was in Gurnee, but the comment still stands because there was a lot of Wisconsin people there and some big boys coming from up north. And I'm not.
And girls.
At a certain point, you see people that are wearing T-shirts and they're swimming. You're like, you're not even really that fat. And if I saw one of these other guys that's just ginormous with no shirt, why do you think that you should have a shirt on? Then I start thinking, do they have a superfluous nipple? Do they have like a third nipple? What do they have, like a hand growing out of their back or something? Like, is there something weird going on there we don't know about? I'm not sure. But like, my God, my man. Like, you just let it breathe. Like, it's okay to show off your man tits. It's anything the Sunday Soak has done for me is like I'm totally comfortable being topless and on a barely badly rated YouTube live show. So
We got a question.
All right.
Hang on. Before we close it out, Tadito says, how are the name tags coming along for Saturday Beef? There will be name tags. There always are name tags there. People don't always fill them out, but we'll bring them. We'll have Sharpies there. Don't worry. There'll be name tags.
Absolutely. Now it's time for some thank yous or some GFYs. Beef, I'm going to start with you. Who are you thanking? Who are you GFYing?
I got 2 thank yous if you guys got time for me. Number 1,
yeah.
I would like to thank the young lady that works at the local gas station who helped me pick out $60 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets for Christmas Eve. She took her assignment with great vigor and really nailed it. I know a lot about gambling, but I don't know shit about the scratchers. And as a noob, she picked out some great fucking games, and me and my family had an awesome time scratching them off on Christmas Eve, just hanging out, enjoying some of the candy from our stocking. So it was a very good time. So thank you. I would do that again. Next year, I might do $100 because I want to do more, and it was a lot of fun doing that shit. Number 2, I want to thank my next door neighbors, who are great neighbors.
I saw that.
And they've been our neighbors for a long time, for finally taking down that 20-foot Santa they had out there, that fucking inflatable
awesome.
Santa. Because now I feel like a real man again. I can resume having normal erections. Thank you guys for taking that down. I really appreciate it.
You didn't have any from that Santa. That Santa was awesome.
He intimidated me. I couldn't be the man that I should be,
I didn't want to go out on your balcony because I would get engorged.
That's the way I understood it too, Cheesy. I thought he was claiming that getting erect, looking at the 20-foot Santa.
I was the opposite. He was
weird.
intimidating
like,
me.
Now it's a normal thing.
Inflatable Santa's big crank was intimidating me. I couldn't get my boy to go the right way. Now I feel much better. I feel relieved. So.
MSS, who you thinking, buddy?
I'm going to thank the great people at Great Wolf Lodge for not making this such a horrible experience as I was expecting. It's clean. People are nice. They're friendly. They're helpful. And food really wasn't even all that expensive. Now, did it taste great? Not really. But $50 for a meal for 4 people, like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's not bad.
With the 2-liter of pop, some fucking wings, and some garlic bread, a salad that they used an entire bottle of salad dressing on, and it was like, I'm like,
very healthy.
I definitely dumped that shit out, man. I was not trying to do that, but no, I had a really good time, and I thought it was gonna be horrible, and it was awesome seeing my second grader running around, being as independent as she was and as fearless as she was, going down the tube slides with none of the inner tubes or anything, just going straight down and just doing it continuously because it was the shortest line. And she's like, I'm going to get 6 rides in before these people get 1 ride in. I was like, yes, you're smart. And keep doing that. And like today, we right before we left in the Treasy, I'm sorry if I'm coaching on your time. I was like, hey, look, the line is really short right now, girls. Let's run up there and we'll go get in line and we'll get to ride this ride at least twice before people realize that there's no line. And so we get up there and my daughter looks at me and she goes, good eagle eyes, Dad. You got eagle eyes, Dad. And I was like, I didn't even know you knew what that meant. Thank you.
Attaboy,
Thank
MSS.
you.
Nice
we
work.
We went down the triple or the double Lundy or whatever the fuck it was, and it was fun.
You did a triple Lindy?
And he almost puked.
It is 4
He
stories high,
got dizzy,
man.
almost barfed.
I did. I nearly barfed almost every time, especially when I'm going backwards. And
That's
I'm hoping
good
that my
dadding.
head
That's good
doesn't
dadding.
smash
Good
into
dadding's
something.
like, look, I might puke, but we're gonna do this for my
we got
kids. So
to.
let's go.
I'll puke and ruin the entire ride for everybody.
Or
That'll be
I just
great.
got to do it. I'm a dad. What?
I have to do it. Terezi, GF Lion or thank you, and what's up?
Obviously, a big thank you to everybody who's bought tickets and is going to be out at the 108 Day Live this weekend. We're taking January 6th back. I cannot wait for this event. It's going to be awesome. If you didn't get tickets and you want tickets, check out. We got a thread on Twitter. There are people that can't go and are selling their tickets, so get in there and get some.
Yes.
And we will see all of you that are coming this Saturday, 8 p.m. at Reggie's. Until then, thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. It was a hell of a time, and thanks to Jeff Passan.
Fun times.
Good night, all.